Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished panelists, honorable guests, and friends, thank you for joining us at the Lux Connections How to Build a Thriving Startup Business. Not long ago, a similar group of crowd gathered at the Chong Hotel, and that room was very packed and hot. The conversation was very lively and inspiring, and the dialogue was engaging. So with that momentum and crowd, we bring you today a panel of entrepreneurs. They will share some of their first-hand experience and insights on how to build a successful business, a startup business. Before I introduce the panel, a little bit of Lux Connection. Lux Connection is a group that has three missions. Number one, we serve a group of Asian communities that are looking to make a difference to make a positive change in the community. Two, we support partnering in business with Asians. And third, we support individuals who want to build a business in Asia. So onto our panel. To my back here, we have Mike Mills. Mike is the founder of MX2 Design Force. He is known to design, produce, and coordinate events for various business. If you're looking to launch an event, Mike is the go-to person. And then onto our think tank panelist. On my right, we have Mike. Sorry about the last name, I could not pronounce properly, but Yavonditte, okay. He is the founder and CEO of Hashable. In the past, he sold a company called Quigo to AOL, worth about $340 million in 2007. Next, we have our much welcomed speaker back from Chong Soho, Karl Chong, Groupon CEO from Singapore. Enough said there. And finally, we have Brittany. She is the founder and editor-in-chief of Genesis.
Hold up the magazine so they can see it.
Yes, an instructional and motivational magazine for entrepreneurs. So there you have it. Before I turn over to the moderator, I want to introduce Andrew Wang, who is the sponsor for this event. And Andrew will share a few words about this space with us.
Thank you, Will. So basically right now you are at Select Office Suites. We have this office here. I work with Ray, the general manager here, to set up a lot of events. We do events almost every month here. I see a lot of you, as we already know. I run this group called New York Entrepreneur Business Network. We are mainly based on Meetup, and we do a lot of networking events and seminars just like this for startups. If you are interested in either the office or our networking group, feel free to grab my card outside on the table. If you are interested in renting the office, their information is right there. Ray, the manager, couldn't make it today, so I just speak on his behalf. Basically, the office, the main advantage is 24/7. You can come here any time of the year, even Thanksgiving, we have people here on the front desk. And you can rent their office, the conference room right here, anytime for your seminars. You can rent their smaller conference room for your own meetings, anytime, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 month, no commitment. That's it, and you got very impressive panelists. I couldn't wait to hear them. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Everyone, we just have one additional panelist just joined us, Perez. She is the fashion and designer for CaeliNYC. So without further ado, please join me with a round of applause for the panelists and the moderator.
Last Thursday, I was the MC for the National Diversity Council annual conference, second year in a row, by the way. One of the executives there said that she not only likes working with startups, she also likes working with startovers. finding ways to, and I think there are actually some people in this room that might be in this situation of trying to address a start over. And what she was referring to was businesses who historically had actually a good track record, but mostly because of the current state of the economy, now they're faltering. And she really finds it as a challenge to work with a start over, trying to revive that business, trying to get it back on a successful track. And I would like to ask panelists, presented with a start over situation, a company that's had a successful record but is now faltering because of various outside elements, various economic elements. What would be some of your advice, some of the strategies that somebody in a business in a start over position might take to revive that business?
Hire people. No, okay. I mean that is the cold truth sometimes. I'd say maybe in a minority situations. The management team, the resources, the human capital in the company is absolutely key to the success. And so long as there is demand for the product or the service, then there is no reason why that company can't succeed other than its people. So that's one thing. It doesn't have to be in the form of hiring. Obviously, training the people with the right skills and putting together a real strong plan. Like, one thing that was fantastic with Groupon when they acquired our company is we had a growth strategy in place. So I knew very quickly like how we were gonna hit those targets, like revenue targets and so on. So it's important to like bring in the plan, bring in the right people to follow through that plan.
One of the hardest things to do in business is to fix an entire company that's not going well. If it's a startup and it's not going well, it probably doesn't have a market, a product that people want, and so you probably have to scrap the product. If it's a big company like a Hewlett Packard or an Apple, I mean, they've been through this turnaround where they're already selling billions and billions of dollars worth of products or services. Then it is about management, right? It's about cost cutting, probably sharpening your marketing message. Changing your product development, your product mix, so you're selling more of the things that people want, less of the things that people don't want. It could be mergers and acquisitions. You could make an acquisition that changes the perception of your company in the marketplace or your trajectory. So that question is impossible to answer on its face because it depends on the situation, right? If it's a startup and no one's buying the product or service, then 99% of the time it's going to be shut down. There is no turnaround for a startup that isn't being successful, right? You can try to pivot the company into a new product category or a new style of product, but that is akin to shutting down the first company and starting over again. What you're asking about is, I think, the hardest thing in business.
Do you have anything on that, Craig?
Well, that's basically what they said. It's about changing your strategy, and if there's something to change, you have to know more what people want. Change your product.
So one thing for economic is, I said in our third month we're profitable, but then competitors started clouding the industry. So my revenue started declining, or at least the rate of growth started declining at a very high rate. We were sharing the same piece of pie, but I was getting a much smaller piece every single day. The key to like surviving or starting over, because I think I experienced to start over, is like I sought out investment capital because I knew I needed to scale up my subscribers. That was the only way at that point to differentiate myself from competitors, was to get to scale. And the winner in this game is the person who gets to scale the quickest. And for me, it was just needed financing. With that, then I could market like nuts, like just go crazy.
And I would also say just, sometimes it's also a mental thing, just making sure you remember the why. Like, why did you start your company? Why did you believe in this company? And if you can remember that, then you can get other people to also believe in it. It's also, like we talked about in the beginning, remembering the need, like what is the need that your company's supplying? Because if you're supplying a need, you will make money. Like that's the bottom line. I mean, I know it's not that easy, but bottom line, if you have a need and you're supplying it, then you're gonna be able to make money. So you need to find a way to market that need and to let people know that you're supplying a need. And I would also say rebranding is great. You would be surprised what a tweak of your logo, new color on your website, brand new website, anything that just looks fresher and more updated with the times, that helps people change their perception about you. And also adding a new product line. And not even when your company's plundering or if it's, doing bad. The most successful companies continually add stuff to their products. Look at Google was not just a search bar. They have a whole platform of business services. Starbucks in the summer, they add a whole line of different smoothies. Like there's ways you can add things to your product so that you don't seem boring, so that you can capture someone else who might not have needed that particular product in the past, but now you have this new line. You're going to bring in a whole new level of client. So just adding to your product line, not being so small-minded. I think you can only create one thing in your company.
And in this situation, is there anything that you would say a business owner should just avoid? What would you say would be you're trying to restart a company, you're trying to start over a company. What would you say would be the biggest mistake you could make in this situation?
You should identify what the problem is first, and that involves identifying also a range of solutions. Like right now, the problem is the light is busted. There are a range of solutions, so we gotta figure out the best one.
Maintenance, yeah.
Okay. But it really is once you identify a solution, you gotta choose the best solution. Test a few of them out on a small scale, and then go full on one that you know is going to work.
I would say biggest mistake, not asking for help. And that was my biggest problem. I'm super independent, and I just think I'm superwoman, and I don't need any help. And I feel like I was going to run my company into the ground. I had to learn to seek out other investors and other millionaires. And I don't mean giving me money, because I'm a startup, and a lot of investors aren't that thrilled about investing in print media right now. But I have a lot of investors that I'm in contact with, and they give me their thoughts, they give me their advice, and to me that's almost just as valuable as money. So just being able to know, okay, I need to ask for help, I need to go to other seasoned business owners and ask them what did they do, that has helped my company stay afloat.